yeah. Coming in, yeah, flex. I just wanna win, yeah. LA BB who run the win, yeah. 2, 2, 3, 3, I'm on 10 again, yeah. State your name, big dope on flame. I just switched the lanes. Damn, he did it again. I just flipped the pain. Stripping and dipping in bass, slab on everything. Soon as you sinking away, cause I got big racks coming. I put my low racks on it. I ain't skip past losses, I had to get back off it. See the fit lab on it until they whip my coffee. Money clip I toss that I heard is big bags on big bags on big bags coming. Coming in, yeah, flex. I just wanna win, yeah. LA BB who run the win, yeah. 2, 2, 3, 3, I'm on 10 again. Pump up the action. Bitch, I'm active. If he never heard of Ben Dope, he just napping. Jackson's off the rapping. Keep it on my body, bitch. I'm broke if you asking. Don't gotta sell it, most of y'all is flawless. Broken wrist longer than it's foreign. Heard you want it cause the yams enormous. What's an ass? She is a gorgeous. Live my life last name of Morgan Freeman. Trying to touch a forest. Do not know when knocking on the door. This came in, I came in. Did it like the Porsches coming in. Yeah, flex. I just wanna win, yeah. LA BB who run the win, yeah. 2, 2, 3, 3, I'm on 10 again. Okay, alright. Coming in, yeah. Flex. I just wanna win, yeah. LA BB who run the win, yeah. 2, 2, 3, 3, I'm on 10, yeah.
Wait a minute, you was muted.
Oh, you gotta put yours on. Hey, y'all. Hey, piggies. How you doing? Hey, y'all. Hey, everybody. How we doing? How's we doing? That little line over there is I got the phone. I got a little holder for my phone. So that little line is where the holder is. So that's what that line is. I got the all white on this side. Got the dip on this side. I hope everybody is having a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. Hope everybody's having a wonderful cookout / barbecue eve. 4th of July. Nice little holiday. Nice little reason to go cook some food outside. Hope everybody's doing well. There's a lot of stuff to talk about this past week. And we're going to let a few more people come in. And everybody that is just sitting in the middle, they only got like 5 in the bushes. And y'all just can't wait. Throw up the deuces, you know. How we do? It is Saturday. It is almost 6:30. And it's about to go down. Bill Cosby got out. Wendy Williams back in the food. What else? What else happened this week? Let's see. Anything else good happened? Y'all let me know if anything else good happened.
What's up, y'all? What's up? I don't know what my hat doing, but I'm here. If y'all ain't shared a live stream, please share the live stream. Share the live stream. It's so dark. I don't know what I'm doing over here. But
Hey, text Leilani.
huh?
Text Leilani.
I'm trying to see if I hear anything. Because everything is low. All right, there we go. Check one. All right, do y'all hear both of us? Can you hear both of us?
Excuse me, sorry.
Anyway, we're going to talk about Bill Cosby and the lady that got locked up after they done let her out. She's 76 years old.
I mean, I don't really, that particular situation, that just happened to be something I saw. I don't
You got to talk a
necessarily.
little loud. You sound far.
That happens. That is just, I don't know. 76-year-old woman had to go back to jail. She was on probation. because she didn't answer her call. She was in a computer class, and she didn't hear her phone
We can
when
come
a
back to
parole
that.
officer.
Let's talk about the Bill Cosby first, since that's the main talk first.
I mean, again, I am pre-political correctness. I was raised when you call somebody ugly, you call them fat. You ain't have to try to figure out another word for it. So my thing is this. I was also raised before Bill Cosby became Dr. Huxtable on the Cosby Show, married to Felicia Rashad. I remember when him and Richard Pryor was making movies and hanging out together. People forget Richard was a comedian. Hey, Adrian. Richard was a comedian. Bill Cosby was a comedian, hanging out in the clubs, and he was at the Playboy Mansion, and he was at Club 54. He was hanging out in the 50s, the late 50s, 60s, and 70s. We have a tendency to canonize and fetishize celebrities that they can do no wrong, and that they are not people. They are the characters that they play. He was a whole lot before he was Dr. Huxtable and Mr. Puddin' Pops. So
You said Puddin' Pops.
he was a whole lot before he was that. So my thing with this, my issue with his imprisonment and his release are purely legal. It's a legal standpoint.
Hey, Adrian.
Legal standpoint, number one, he was arrested and convicted on he said, she said, which in the real world is very hard to do. It can be done. And as you can see, it can be done with somebody of money if they want you to. Because there are millions of women who report assaults and things of that nature, and it goes no further than the piece of paper they fill out. But if you got enough time and enough money and enough lawyers that want money, they can move mountains.
I got a little clip with Bill Cosby when he was young. I can play that in a second. Just a small clip, nothing big.
So from a legal standpoint, I don't think he should have ever been tried, let alone convicted. That being said, that is why he was released. A legal standpoint. He was not released because they didn't think he did it. He was not released because they found some new shocking evidence that cleared his name. He was released because from a legal standpoint, the same things that get you what you want can fuck you up in the head.
Yeah.
He made an agreement with the prosecutor, who happened to be the attorney who represented Trump in his impeachment trial. He made a deal, and they make deals all the time. If you look it up statistically, they make more deals than they do have trials, because a trial is a lengthy, drawn-out process, and the reality is there are millions of people incarcerated all over the world who did not do the crime. So you take your chance when you try to go all the way to the court system. So most of the deals are made deal-wise. So this was his deal. In a nutshell, I will tell you, I will answer your questions in the civil trial, because a lot of these women that were accusing him of criminal acts were trying to get money first. So he was like, I will answer your questions in the civil matter, but nothing I say can be used against me. In a criminal matter, nothing I say can be used as evidence of any crime that I committed, which is basically your Fifth Amendment right to, it's called, oh, my brain gets stuck. But basically, the Fifth Amendment says that you have the right to not say anything that will incriminate you in a crime. And if you are being asked, if you're a witness and somebody asks you a question and the answer can incriminate you on a crime, you can invoke your Fifth Amendment rights. So basically what he said was, I will answer the questions truthfully in a civil trial, but nothing I say can be used in a criminal trial. So that is exactly what the prosecutor did. He took the information he learned when he gave his deposition in the civil trial, and he used that against him in a criminal trial. Brought charges, got witnesses, did everything. So that's why he's out. He's out because you cannot go against what you wrote. You wrote it, you signed it, he signed it, the judge signed it, everybody signed it. And then you think all of a sudden it's going to disappear, but the reality is Bill is not a broke, I don't have any money, living paycheck to paycheck kind of person. He got the money to go with you, with them lawyers. So eventually they found what they needed, the information they needed to get him out of jail. That being said, I am never going to look at a woman and say that she was not assaulted. Now, I may have my doubts because of the fact that you asked for money first, but I'm never going to say that you weren't assaulted. I'm never going to say that for anybody because you never know. Because you never know when you're going to be on the tail end of that situation. You never know when you're going to be in a situation where somebody has to believe what you are telling them. You never know that the difference between you never know. So I would never say, oh, they lying. This Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby ain't got to do nothing. I don't know Bill Cosby. I know the people he portrays on television, but I don't know the man. And I think that's the problem we have a lot. That's a problem we have with entertainers in general. We put them on devastatingly high pedestals. We canonize them, make them saints and angels. And when what we forget, the first thing we forget is that they're people. At the end of the day, he's a person. He's a man. And we can't put past anybody anything. Y'all keep talking about Dr. Huxtable assaulted somebody. This, and the third. No. Bill Cosby, the dude, might have. His character ain't did shit because that's not rape.
Mm-hmm. I was asked how I felt about it, and I said, pretty much, why did they wait till he get this old after he done had his livelihood to bring it up now? That was my thing. Why did they wait till now to come up with all this stuff that supposedly happened?
Because if they'd have tried it in his heyday, back when Bill was Bill, they tried in his heyday, people would have did exactly what I just said. They would have looked at Dr. Huxtable, the family man, the father, the husband, and not at the man who plays Dr. Huxtable. And I'm not going to say that he shouldn't be. I'm not going to say that he should not be free because I don't know. But I'm not going to sit up there. If you have it, my thing is this: there are three sides to every story. There are three sides. There's my side, there's your side, and somewhere in there is the truth. Mm-hmm. If a woman felt like Bill Cosby assaulted her sexually, then who am I to say that he did not? I was not there.
Right.
However, from a legal standpoint, there are statute of limitations on how long you have before a crime cannot be prosecuted. There are very few crimes that don't have a statute of limitations. Murder is one of them. That's why you see a lot of old people going to jail for somebody they killed 30 years ago. I've told you before the church bombing that happened in, I want to say it was 1954. I want to say it was 1954 when the church was bombed in Birmingham. I want to say that's when it was.
Well, my thing is, why they waited till?
Because at the end of the day,
he done lived his livelihood. I mean, I mean,
you after so long,
if you need your livelihood,
but that's not what they looking at. My thing is this. Okay. Case in point. Somebody does something to you.
right?
Somebody do something to you, and you know at the time that they did it, you don't have the money, you don't have the resources, you don't have the knowledge. Hell, you don't feel like going up against somebody. But you see this man living his life, everybody talking about how awesome he is, putting him on this pedestal. He is a family man. He gives advice. And you sit there staring at this man. You sit there staring at this, not necessarily a man, it could be anything. You sit there staring at this person.
Right.
Day in and day out.
Yeah.
And eventually, you just like, because I mean, everybody handles trauma and assault and something happened to them in a different manner.
Mm-hmm.
Some people get pissed off. Some people get sad. Some people become hyper vigilant. Some people become introverted. Some people become extroverted. It just depends. My thing is this: in situations where you have people saying that somebody did something, and you have a whole lot of people saying somebody did the same thing, I have a tendency to believe that because nobody tell the same lie. That being said, you're correct. You're going to wait 30, 40, 20 years to come say something to him. I personally would have got my get back in the beginning.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
But then guess what? And the reality of the situation is that I would love for women to be equal in all things. I would love for society to look at women and believe what we say. But the reality is we are just not undervalued in the workforce. We are undervalued, period. That's why I didn't understand why he went to jail and he said, she said, because the reality is that people are quick to say, well, why were you in that situation? Why were you there? What did you have on? What did you say to him? They're quick to say that in that situation. And I don't want to bring the race into it, but that also has a place in it. When you feel like somebody's untouchable, you don't touch them. As soon as you see a weakness, that's when you came. I guess they saw the weakness in his age. I guess they saw the weakness at the time when they started doing this, when the Me Too hashtag came out, and people were more inclined to report incidences of assault. Then I guess they saw they chance. You know what I'm saying? But you want to talk about
But my thing is, how old are these people? Like, are they young? Are they our age?
Here's the thing.
Like, what's their age? Like the people that actually
they're old. They're his age. They're Cosby is 80 something.
Mm.
All right. To make you understand how long it takes to prosecute people and why some things have a statute of limitations and some things don't. The church bombing in Birmingham, Alabama, where 4 little girls were murdered, happened in 1963. They didn't convict and send to jail the people who did the bombing. I was working at Applebee's at the time, so it had to be like 91, 2 or 3. It was that long. It took that long, and most of them were dead.
Mm.
But they put 70 and 80-year-old men in jail. The men that they did find, they put them in jail. And they died in jail of old age.
You looking at me.
I know I'm looking at you. My bad. But I think it's more along the lines that they got in where they could fit in.
Yeah, but that's kind of crazy because it's like if they going after money or whatever, It's like they should have did that long time ago.
Well, okay. All right, y'all. Think about it like this. Now, I'm not saying a conspiracy theory. I'm just saying from the facts that we were shown. I personally believe that O.J. Simpson killed his wife and that other white boy. I believe it. I believe he did it, and that's just what it is. It is what it is. And there was a preponderance of evidence. The entire inside of the little Bronco was just covered in blood drops and things like that. And they found her blood, his blood in his house, and da 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 da. Clearly, he did not get convicted of that crime. When you see somebody as the person they are in public, when you see somebody as the actor or the role that they portray, when you see somebody as the politician, the preacher, the priest, when you see somebody that is a symbol of authority, you have a tendency to look at what they do and not who they are. Bill Cosby, at the height of the Bill Cosby heyday, nobody would have believed that Dr. Huxtable was touching was not girls, but they were adults, well, no babies, was assaulting women, touching toes, licking feet, whatever he was doing nasty. But nobody would have said. Everybody would have been like, "Oh no, he would never do something like that." How you know? He might be coming women in pudding. How the hell do you know? My thing is this.
Did you say pudding?
I sure did. I think it is.
She said pudding.
He went to jail. He spent a few years in there. He's had to pay our money. And unless he is a sociopath, he's had to look at himself in a different way. A lot of crimes that are committed like that, when men take advantage of women, they don't see themselves as doing anything wrong. They look at it as, I'm who I am, and she should be happy that I have given her the attention that she's getting. Can you imagine when the world gives you a mirror and you now have to look at yourself as the person that you actually are, not the person that you think you are? So now he has to look at himself, and he can't keep looking in his mirror and seeing Dr. Huxtable and the man who would give all this advice on kids and love. He has to see himself as the man who was convicted of sexual assault. Even though it was overturned, even though it was thrown out, he was still convicted in a court of law. So he has to look at himself differently. He has to look at himself maybe for the first time as the person that he is, not as the person that he is made, not as the persona that he is made for everybody to look at. It's a beast when you got to look at yourself and you see what people see, not what you want to see. You should. We should all do that. We should all know that we should all know the person that's staring back at us in the mirror, and not give us anything extra that we really don't have. Because the day that somebody knocks us off that pedestal, that shit is devastating. Now, he may not give a shit, but he had to look at what he did all them years ago and realize that everybody didn't want you, Bill. Everybody didn't want your attention. Everybody didn't want you to be rubbing and touching on them. Now, some women might have jumped on the bandwagon and said, Bill Cosby grabbed my boob in 1963 at the club, and I felt violated yesterday. But I'm sure there's some people in there that what they said was the truth.
Mhm.
But since we don't know for sure, let us err on the side of caution, because in reality, there are too many people that are paying for things they did not do. They are paying the price for rushes to judgment. And on the flip side of that coin, this is showing women things that do not happen in the real world. In the real world, if a plain looking woman had accused a rich man of sexual assault, it would have been her word versus his word. It is showing them that stuff that doesn't happen. And that is disheartening. Did Bill do it? I don't know. But my opinion is irrelevant to his life. He signed a deal with the prosecutor, and the prosecutor did not honor the deal. So now the prosecutor has to pay the price. That is the end and the beginning. People are talking about they want Felicia Rashad to quit. She's a dean at Howard University in Washington, D.C. They want her to quit because she gave her support, tweeted out her support for Bill Cosby getting out of jail. Why wouldn't she tweet out her support for her friend? How many people in this chat, in this review, how many people stick by their friends? Even though they know their friends did some more messed up mess. I shouldn't have to be fired from my job because I told my homeboy, I'm glad you're home. Everything is not a spite. Everything is not a slight to your humanity. Everything does not need to be addressed. She said, welcome home, or whatever the hell she said, and she's supposed to say it because that was her friend. You don't jump ship on your friends because of stuff they did. You let them know how messed up you think it is. You let them know I see you. But that's still my friend.
Lady NC 100 says self-reflection is very difficult, but it's what we all need.
That's true. But it's hard. Self-reflection sometimes comes at a cost. Because you wait so long to do it. People looking in the mirror. I look in the mirror, I see 54-year-old Lisa. That's who I see. Lisa, 54-year-old, fat, broke up, beat up, but I'm still here. I see me. I know my limitations. I know what I can and can't do. But I also know that I can learn and grow from my situation, even now. But there was a time when I looked in the mirror and I didn't push myself up, I pushed myself down. Self-reflection works both ways. It doesn't just work for you to see that you ain't as high as you are. Sometimes it works to show you you're higher than you are. That you're not where you should be, baby. You're not looking at who you should be looking at. You're looking at what you think people see. Celebrities, they look at who we show them they are. In the mirror, celebrities see that they can do no wrong, that they are the most beautiful, the most handsome, the smartest, the most articulate, the most intelligent. They are the best of the best of the best. That's why we have so many people out here right now who are famous for nothing. Now, did they work on it? Did they grow their brand? Sure. But they are famous for nothing. They're famous for being rich. Now, I wouldn't mind that thing. That's why people are in the public eye see who we show them. And in return, we don't see who they are. How many people right now in this chat and in this replay think Michael Jackson did no wrong?
He ain't do nothing.
I bet you can babysit Nick. Ever. Not never. Not one not time. I want to go to what's the place called? Mysteryland, Disneyland. I met some
Neverland.
little kid land. That's land.
Neverland.
No, you never gonna go to Neverland. That's what the hell you going. Swear it down. That's my opinion though. But there are people out here right now will fight me, will knock my fat ass out the wheelchair and roll me down the hill talking shit about Michael Jackson. Sure will. Think about it. We only have to back up 1 year to see what fetishizing a person does. Donald Trump, President of the United States. It is not just that he is on a level to where.
What's up, Rico? What's up, Vicky?
It amazes me.
Hey, click on the panel so you can piggyback off this topic.
It amazes me the things that people said he didn't do, even though he told you he did. We just had to back up to one year. We had an entire year of listening to case after case, after speech, after everything. And those that had not drank in the Trump Kool-Aid saw what we saw. We saw the.
Hold on. How long was Bill Cosby locked up? How long?
I don't know.
Is it that year?
Yeah, he was in there for years. Wasn't it like?
It was before COVID.
Yeah, it was before.
I don't know how long he been locked up.
I don't know. I'm about to look it up.
Rico, y'all click on the panel so y'all can talk with us. So y'all ain't gotta be typing.
In 2018, he was sentenced to 3 to 10 years in prison. He was convicted of drugging and sexually assaulting somebody in 2004. So that's 14 years. So hold on. Let me see something, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. If you look it up, go to Google. There's something called a statute of limitations. Crimes have a statute of limitations. Most of them do have a period of time, a period of years in which you have to prosecute the crime. Because there's a I don't know which constitution, I don't know which entry in the Constitution it is, but everybody has a right to a speedy trial. I don't know what it's called. I don't know. Everybody has the right to a speedy trial. So there's statute of limitations on certain on just about every crime. There are some crimes that don't have a limitation. Murder is one of them. You can be prosecuted for a murder from 1974 tomorrow. So you don't have to so say something about what I'm doing.
Hold on, my parents trying to reach me. I know what they trying for. Hold on. Vicky said Bill helped Felicia Rashad when she was dealing with her drug addiction. Lady NC, hey everybody. What's up, Margarita? Lady NC said people lie so much, it's just so hard to believe a lot. This stuff, it's all about money most of the time. Rico said, I feel Bill Cosby was telling the truth and the females are just lying.
All right,
What's up, Rico?
So I was looking up something. That's the reason I asked you something. So he was convicted in Pennsylvania.
Y'all click on the link and jump on this panel.
So I decided to Google. This is Google. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see the G. This is Google. You can Google it. I'm not a lawyer. I don't play one on TV either. But you can Google this. In Pennsylvania, a person who has suffered child sexual abuse typically has until the age 30 to file a civil suit against the liable parties. For adult rape or sexual assault civil suits, a person has 2 years from the date of injury to file. You have until the age of 50 to file criminal charges against the offender. So, in most cases, the statute of limitations is 2 years. He was convicted of a crime in 2018 that happened in 2000 and did I say 4? That happened in 2004. Very few things have a 14-year statute of limitations. Most things have 7. Some have 2. You can have 3. You can have a certain amount of time from the time the crime is committed to the time that you file the charges against the person. And then even after you file the charges, you have so much time before, you only have so much time after you file charges that you can prosecute that crime. Because if you have not prosecuted the crime within a timely fashion, they will mean you can't prosecute it again. So I was trying to figure out how he went to jail on something where the statute of limitations is run out. And yeah. When they want you, they get you. When they want you, they'll get you. I also saw it wasn't a big story. It just caught my eye. There was she was 74, 76. And she went to jail on federal drug charges. And she had a 30-year sentence. So, and I think she served 30 years. No, now she was still on parole. So I don't know. She had a long prison sentence she had a long federal prison sentence. So she was still on parole. She had on a bracelet. She was in a computer class and her phone was off. She did not answer her phone. So they arrested her and want to put her back in jail. Saying that even though she told them and she had proof to what she was doing, because she was a criminal, she could have been committing a robbery, a bank robbery. That's what they said. She could have been committing a bank robbery. So they were going under the assumption that she was committing a bank robbery. So that's why they arrested her and wanted her to put her back in jail to finish out her sentence. Now, this lady been in jail a very long time. She's grandmother. She's out of jail. And she's trying to better her life in her 70s. Yeah, you can't get some 20-year-olds to go to school. And you want to put her back in jail because even though you knew what she was doing, because she was a criminal, she could have been doing this. So we're going to put her back in jail. I don't even know what to say to that. I don't even know how people say stuff out of their mouths nowadays. And it's allowed. I don't know. There are so many women right now incarcerated on federal drug charges. I mean, they got time. 20, 30, 40 years for $1,000 worth of cocaine. Because the cocaine was found in your car. Because it was found tucked in your house. Because you were in the car with your boyfriend who was a drug dealer and he had drugs in the car. And even though it was his car and you weren't driving, because you know there are thousands of women to this day serving fed time, had not touched one drug, had not touched $1 drug money. And I'm just trying to figure out what the hell is going on, people. It's like you wake up and you don't know which fucking horror movie you in. You wake up and you just know today is going to be better than the last day, but then somebody opens their mouth and you go, nope, still the same bullshit. I don't know. I guess I just want to bring attention to something like this, because maybe if we start bringing attention to it, even on the small scale that I'm on, I'm not on the big scale, I'm on a small scale, that maybe things won't be gotten away with so much. I don't understand why this lady is going to jail. Where are the attorneys? Where are the people? Where's a P.O. officer? Realistically, dude, she was just in a. I mean, I don't know. I don't know that I'm so mad and miserable that I gotta be that way. You know what I'm saying? That if I'm your PO and you come in my office and I couldn't get in touch with you, and I know your situation, I can't feel like I'm so miserable, because it is the discretion of the parole officer whether or not he can, he didn't have to take her to the, he didn't have to file. He could have took everything into consideration. Her, how she been doing since she been out, what she was doing, why she couldn't answer the phone. He could have taken all that in consideration and not revoked her parole. I don't understand why people are so miserable nowadays. And you see it across the board. This is just another example of the misery. It's like, let's see how unhappy I can be today and how much unhappiness I can spread. Let's do that. It's like when single mothers, or it's like when parents, you go to the food stamp office to feed your kids, and the people talking to you like they got to get the food out of their house to feed you. It's like when you go to welfare and I just need some help with these babies until I get a job. They act like they got to pull out of their bank account to help you. They look down on you. It's like when you do anything that has anything to do with any kind of assistance. It's like when I used to go to, and that's just not it. I used to go to the VA with my sister. I used to go to the VA retreat all the time. And they acted like these veterans, these men and women who had served, these men and women who had came back less than themselves for the atrocities they saw and some had to commit in the name of our freedom. And they treated them like they were doing something to them. Like they were, like if you gave this person their health care, that you had to pay for it. If you gave this veteran help with this, it was coming out of your pocket. It's not just people who look for assistance. And most of the people, quiet as kept, had a job. I've had a job the entire time I got food stamps. I sure did. I most surely did. Worked since I was 17 years old. And it wasn't until I was almost 40 that I went and got my little pennies for it.
What's up, Bill?
So it is almost as though it's like you get into service, the helping of other people, customer service, helping people, and you get in there and you want to see how it's like they're causing you some sort of misery to come to work every day. I've been in customer service since 1985. I've been dealing directly with customers since 1985. And if you can't do the job, and there's been times I went to work, not to work, And I keep my ass in the back. And I stay away from people. I stay the hell away from people. If I come to work and I know that I should not be discussing shit with your ass today because cuss words gonna fly out, I'm like, look, hey, can I go in the back? Let me do this.
Is your phone turned up?
Nope. I told you it doesn't go all the way down. I don't know why.
No, can you turn it up?
Can I turn it up? Like
Yeah.
up?
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah. Say something.
I
Hello,
can,
everybody.
but you got me blocked, don't you? Hi.
Can you hear him?
Can I hear? Say something, Rico. What? Did you say something? You know where Rico. Don't start no shit. Don't come on starting. It's almost as though.
Say something, Rico.
I did say something.
Yeah, it's not gonna be loud on mine.
Okay.
It's almost as if you are in such contempt of humanity, don't get a job where you got to deal with it. Let me just say that. And I feel as though him revoking her parole and trying to get her sent back to the penitentiary, you shouldn't be in this job. Now, I'm not going to say every criminal that's parole should be free, because that'd be a lie. But if you see somebody trying to do better, if you see a grandmama who has spent the majority of her adult life in prison trying to better herself,
Mm-hmm.
and your first thing to do is to send her back, then you're in the wrong job.
So let me mute you for 1 second, baby, so I can put him on. So Rico, how you feel about the whole Bill Cosby situation?
Well, I never got a chance to listen to it, but I just believe the man is innocent. I mean, that they literally, if you really go back, how long have that been? If they said what he did to them, I don't know. I just think he was just he was set up. He was set up for something.
See, my thing is, I just think, why did they wait so long?
That's what I was thinking, the same thing. They waited so long and then they want to talk about it. You waited till that man get a certain age to come back and try. What you trying to do? Remove his heart away from him? Because they basically really did. You know, he had to sit up in jail and go through heartaches. And what these women did, they did so wrong. They probably wanted him at the time, and he probably didn't want to be bothered. Who knows? The only truth is either from him and them ladies, the real truth. Because as much as they put the news out there, we soaking it in and thinking, oh wow, a celebrity is going down for this. Wow, that's all
And
I
it's
could think of. Yeah, and you know what? The thing I just want to say on here, this world is not sugar-coated no more. It's open. If you don't open your eyes, if you don't open your ears, it's right there. Open your eyes. It's all in the music industry, everything. These innocents is going to jail for nothing.
Right.
And I mean, if you're gonna be a celebrity, you gotta keep keep your ears and eyes open, because there's always something out there. It do not make sense to us, but we always searching and finding out the truth. So
Right. Yeah, because like
yes,
I said,
this world is not coded anymore.
we will never know if it's true or not. We just won't. But that's every day in society. You don't know who's telling the truth and who's not telling the truth, unless you got some actual proof. Hey, View.
Right.
Oh, she fixing her thing. Yeah, it's sad, but you just don't know.
Hey,
What's your input or view on this whole Bill Cosby thing?
I think he did it. Yeah, he did it. I know he did it because he did a comedic album years ago when he was at the height of his touring and movies and everything. He did it, and a lot of other people have done it. He made a whole album or CD or whatever it was back then, where he talked about giving women Spanish fly and having sex with women, drugging them, and it was supposed to be a kiki. It was kind of like the shock value was something that you really didn't say. You just thought it was funny, but it makes sense now. And people, so yeah, he did it, and he said he did it. Oh, they call it a Spanish fly. So I believe he did it, and I believe that a lot of the women probably were willing participants in being intimate with him, but he didn't even have to drug them. But he did say in that comedic thing that it's nothing better than having somebody on a Spanish fly, whatever. I guess I need to go ahead and replay that whole, not replay, but find that comedy skit that he did. It was an album or CD or something, but yeah, a lot of the actors and things did that. If they call it the casting couch, so you're giving somebody, you're whining and dining them, and everybody was doing a little weed, a little opioids or stuff like that. So yeah, but he didn't have to. But like I said, it's just, I guess, it just makes it easier for the women to be compliant or complacent by giving them that drug. So I believe he did it. Does he deserve to be in jail for it? Absolutely, he did the crime. I believe he should. He should have been in jail a long time. I don't like the fact that these women are doing these things so late. But at that time, we as women, we couldn't say that somebody did this to us years ago. You could not. It was taboo, and it was instant killing your career. If you mention anything like that, then you would never be able to work anywhere else in Hollywood or wherever, even in just regular mom and pop shops and regular people's lives and stuff. I know women that have been bullied by men in the workplace. They were secretaries or their managers, wanted them to do certain things, and they did it because they were threatened. If they don't do this, you won't have a job, So, yeah, I believe he did it, and I know he did it, and um, I can't help that he's old now and he's getting punished for it. I think right now, the 2.5 years that he did, I'm fine with that. I mean, I'm okay with it. And so now it comes down to divvying up the money and stuff. And then I think there are more women that are going to come up with this. But the thing is, I don't like, if something happens to you, you need to say something. You need to do something. Don't wait 20, 30, 40 years. So this will be a lesson. Because if they had cell phones back then, I know this stuff wouldn't have been a non-issue. We didn't have that type of thing. So
Right, we didn't have
anyway,
no.
that's my opinion.
Yep. Hell, most of us wouldn't have did the stuff we did. Most of us wouldn't have did the stuff we did if video. Think about all the stuff we used to do when we was young. Don't worry, I'll wait.
Girl, yeah, you gonna have to wait because I got to roll back my Rolodex in my memory, girl. I done a whole lot of fucked up stuff. Girl, wait, the statute of limitation is 7 years, right? Okay, we're gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna lay it right here, Miss Lisa.
I look at
So
all this
glad
shit
we
these
did not
little
have the
girls
internet
be
and stuff.
posting, and all them little pictures, and I'm sitting there going, "Ahead." Back in the day, we did the shit, but we had that. One, we didn't have nothing posted on. Two, we was raised by people that said keep your business to yourself. Newer generation not raised like that. Since social media came along, people have gotten so comfortable. They tell you when they went and took a shit. Care? On the toilet, 20 minutes. What the hell? But and social media brings up the third thing I want to talk about. Wendy Williams. Yeah, I remember how I said people are famous for nothing. Now, since I've been on YouTube, I have noticed that drama and beef are very popular. There's a whole sector on here, and people relish in the fuckery that is arguing about nothing. And I feel like if Wendy Williams was younger, she would be on this platform and not on TV. Because I don't really know what her talent is. I'm on YouTube, I talk, but I can sing, I can sing, I can cook, a couple of things that I can't say on TV. That being said, so if anybody watches The Chi, there's an actress on The Chi, and her name is, what's her name, baby? What's her name?
Her name is a lady. Just go ahead.
That's not her name. And her name is not a lady. All I can do is type Wendy Williams in here. That's what's gonna pop up because that's what she did this week. So she Tabitha Brown. She's on The Chi, but she also does she has YouTube channel. I think she's bringing vegetarian. She does a lot of stuff. She's one of those that don't get into nothing. She don't say nothing about nobody. She don't argue with nobody. She do her thing and keep it moving. She makes moves, but she don't make waves. She makes moves, but she don't make waves. So she said, and it's popular to talk about your feelings and what you're thinking and stuff, especially if you have a following on YouTube or Twitter or TikTok. So I don't know which social media platform she posted to, but she said that she is retiring her husband. She's retiring her husband. She said he took a job, and she was a police officer in Los Angeles, I think. I want to say it's Los Angeles. And he did that for 15 years. And because of her recent successes, she is retiring her husband. This is what it says. And she put it on YouTube. Okay, that's what she put it out at. She says she is allowing her husband a chance to retire. I think his name is Chance. That's cute. Anyway, she's allowing her husband a chance to retire from his job as a police officer with the Los Angeles County Police Department after 15 years. Something she calls a dream come true. Because he took the job and he let her pursue her dream. YouTube, acting, everything. So she posted that out, and that was all she said. So Wendy took it upon herself to respond to somebody who wasn't talking to her. Oh, I was married to one of those. I make the money and so on and so forth. Go live your dreams. Open the business. Go, go, go. You see how that turned out. I predict this marriage is going to be real rocky ground on real rocky ground in a minute. Live your dream. They may invest in stuff and lose the money. They invest in something else. Then money gets swindled and stolen. They invest again, and he come home and throws his bag down. She's like, just like basically saying, don't do that because of because of what happened to me. No, you work. Being a cop is a big part of his identity. He liked it, but he came to me and said, whatever. So on Thursday, she responded. She said, Wendy, the pain you must be in to feel this way, honey, I am so sorry. But listen, let me tell you this. 23 years I've been with my husband, broke for a very long time together, struggled for a very long time together, succeeded for the last couple of years together. She said her and her husband had made an agreement that he would take this job while she pursued her dream. And that when she became successful, he can leave his job to manifest his dreams. I don't even think there's nothing you should have said about it, but okay. That's my point. What was the necessity to respond to a blanket statement that it was not to anybody in particular, but just telling the world because people want to know that I can let my husband pursue his dreams because he helped me pursue mine. Where's the negative? Where's the need? Where's the necessity for negativity in that statement? Anybody? Baby? Rico? Of you? Where? Hello?
Okay, so what I think. Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, Review. I just got to take her off so it don't echo.
Okay, so what I think of Wendy Williams, first of all, is an idiot. Her famous being famous thing is when she was on the radio as a shock jock. I used to listen to her and Howard Stern in the 70s and 80s. It was that was what we did, listen to them talk really bad about people, and I don't know, it was kind of messy. I think the shock jock eras was kind of like pre YouTube. So if you all want to know, not you all on the panel, but anybody else that wants to know what I'm talking about, go ahead and Google shock jock Howard Stern and Wendy Williams, their earlier telecast. Wendy Williams is a horrible person, so I cannot think of any reason for her to get into somebody else's business about this being positive, this woman letting her husband do whatever he needed to do, and then stepping in, and once he done his, go, take and pay for it, and just let him to retire. I don't see anything wrong with that. See, but Wendy Williams always inserts her motherfucking big titties and big mouth in other people's business that ain't got nothing to do with her. She need a fucking life. She still look like a man to me, I swear for Jesus. But anyway, she's dealing with her own demons. But she can never she was never a real wife, because that husband, Kevin, he already had his side bitch on his side for years. So she can't even really give advice to anybody. Now is very questionable about anything that she has done, but has she has made her career, her talent is open her big fat lips and talking about the actors and musicians and all their business and stuff, and just being a nuisance. I think she's a horrible person. So I take no value in anything she says about anybody and how they treat their husband, their real husband, because she never had a chance. That man managed her. She was not even. She was like a piece of material. He managed her and told her what to do, and she did it, and they built their empire. But that was not a life. And so later on, she realized she really wanted more of a life. But hey, it is what it is. Anyway, I am very passionate about this topic. I love it. Okay, thank you.
I mean, I don't understand beef. Y'all know I don't. I don't get it. I don't understand oil. I mean, because it does do anything. I don't understand talking to this day. I don't understand if you don't like somebody, then ignore them. Go ahead, Rico.
What you want me to say?
What you got to say about Wendy Williams?
Okay. I don't watch TV, but I do pay. Somebody was saying, wait a minute, let me see, talk with Jazz. Wendy is just a dark soul. Yeah, I agree with that. And she's a man. And she's stupid. She's not funny. She a class clown. Doop de doop de doo.
Yeah, I don't get the whole beef. I don't get the beef. I don't get the troll. I don't get none of that. So I don't get that. But yeah, I'm like, look, if you like it, I love it. If I didn't agree with what Tabitha Brown did, I would have said nothing. Or I would have did the Southern salute. Oh, bless her heart. But going so far as to say that the marriage is gonna be rocky and oh, I dated one of them. No, you didn't. Let me tell you something. Hollywood and that Hollywood, New York, the entertainment scene is all about impression. It is all about what people think of how you look, how you sound, how your talent or lack thereof. It is all about perception and appearances. Now, Wendy Williams, I don't know how she looked when she was younger, but she's become a caricature of her own self. And if you got people just come on now, you huh? You have I put it to you like this, y'all. If it's too good to be true, normally it is. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna disparage her and talk about her because what is ugly to me, what is unattractive to me, could be beautiful to others. So
Now she looked like in her earlier days. Okay, I'm gonna give you an example. You know how little Kim looked like a regular average young
right,
lady? That's how she looked. Nothing real fancy, nothing real, nothing really, just like an ordinary girl, round the way girl,
right,
not like a beauty, but not like a dog.
right.
So she has had all those things done to her face and stuff and made her look morph into what she looks like now, her face and her body. So she's clearly unhappy with how she looked, just like Lil Kim is. So she got a whole bunch of daggone issues. But Kevin, her husband, has always, I think he just saw a cash cow, and I'm not meaning cow meaning that she's big, but a cash cow seeing there's somebody that he can make some money off of, put her out
Yeah.
there. Right. So he pimped her out, but they were able, and now people are still questioning whether that son is hers or his. I don't know. Anyway, and a lot of people still wonder whether she is actually a man and all that. I don't know. I think she is a woman. I do, but I think she's an obnoxious woman, and that's how she got her start. And she was trying to be like the female Howard Stern. So for you people, not you all, but for people to understand what I really mean, you have to research who Howard Stern is. Howard Stern is a very unattractive man, a Jewish man.
Yes, he
Not
is.
being Jewish has nothing to do with it, but he has the shock value. He says things that people think and says it just how it is. Sometimes I'm being accused of that. Sometimes I just blurt it out. But in the back of my mind, I'm being comedic. I still have some sensitivity. But when him and Wendy Williams would say stuff about people, there was no sensitivity. There was no
No,
being delicate. It was all for the pure shock and being downright mean and nasty.
right. Yeah,
Okay.
I
Hmm.
know Howard Stern. I never thought he was funny, and
Mm-mm.
and he wasn't funny. He was misogynistic. He was narcissistic. He was every istic that you could figure out, all
Yep.
rolled up into to an unattractive man who was making himself bigger because he knew he didn't have nothing in the mirror. So he had to, like I said, he was trying to portray to the world what he thought he saw, but not the man looking back in the mirror. And that's why I feel Wendy Williams is a caricature of her younger self. I mean, look here. If you got the money and you want to rebuild your body, that's fine.
Hmm.
I don't, that's not my thing, but I ain't gonna knock your hustle. However, you can't be body built by bad body built by a doctor and then talking shit about people.
Right. You better preach.
You can't look like a man on your good days and talk about people.
Mm-hmm.
You can't cover somebody's husband and you can't keep one.
You can't get one. Hey, how about that?
And that's for anybody. That's why I don't understand beef. You coming to me about my situation and what you don't like about my situation. But if we look at your situation, you sitting over there alone, by yourself, lonely, mad, and ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now.
Right.
Come on. In the same way with Bill Cosby, like you said. That's what they was doing. I'm sorry, y'all. I am so sorry, but I promise y'all, it's some mamas and some uncles and some cousins, some aunties, some daddies in this chat. Y'all can't tell me that y'all ain't got an uncle or a cousin that come to the family reunion that can't be around the kids and the young women.
You better preach.
And all y'all do is make excuses. Well, Uncle Henry at? Well, with her. Trust me, I done seen him. So whether or not he did it is irrelevant. I don't like the way they went about it. That's my issue. I don't like the way they went about it. But never forget, Bill Cosby used to hang out with Richard Pryor. And let me tell y'all some shit. Had Richard Pryor been accused of this crime, nobody would have batted an eye. Would nobody said nothing? Would nobody rallied to his defense? Nobody. Everybody would have been like, well, that's just Richard. But because y'all want to talk about Dr. Huxtable, who is a character, y'all keep forgetting that Dr. Huxtable is played by Bill Cosby, who used to hang out at the Playboy Mansion at Club 54, who walked around with a glass of, with a drink in one hand and a cigarette in the other hand. In all his pictures, y'all go back and hit them 60s pictures, them 70s pictures, and tell me what y'all saw. Tell me if y'all didn't see Uncle Cletus talking about the little young girls at the damn barbecue. Ooh, look at that one right there. That's Willie girl right there. But she young, but you know, I get that. No, the fuck you want, Grandpa? Sit your ass down. Don't nobody want your burnt up taco meat on them. Go on there. That's just the way it is. The legalities is what got him. The legalities is what got him in there, and the legalities is what got him out. His innocence or his guilt or innocence is irrelevant, because at the end of the day, we'll never know. We sit up here talking shit about him, and he could have been the saint everybody said he was. Or he could have taught Richard Pryor and Rick James all they know. These are just regular people, y'all. That's what they are. They regular people whose job was to be an actor, a comedian, or whatever. Their job is not who they are. It's not who they are. Their job is what they do. That's why that's the big thing now. We're trying to get people to separate what you do from who you are. When Black Lives Matter came out, then we had the Blue Lives Matter. There's no such thing as a blue life. There is somebody who decided to be a police officer. And then there's a person who woke up, who came out the womb, the color they are, and has to fight that every day. Two different things. Who you are and what you do for a job is two different things. The persona that he put out there is what people were looking at going, oh my goodness, not Dr. No, Dr. Huxtable didn't do that. That is not a real person. Bill Cosby may have been tickling his toes. Who knows? Because I think they was talking about he liked feet or something. I mean, it was sexual, but it wasn't penetration and sex. It was more sexual assault. It was more touching. It was more I'm like, just why couldn't he have done it? Ain't that Bill right now? Hey, ain't that Bill right now? You know he was getting ass back in the day. You know they was throwing coochie back in the day like baseballs. You think he wasn't catching? You think he didn't think he could do what he wanted to do because he was a star? Come on now. Him being Bill Cosby does not make him immune to what happens when you give somebody that kind of power. Now, I'm not going to say that every man or every person takes advantage of that power, but people do. We see it every day. We see celebrities, we see athletes who are thrown into this deep pool of money and power and women and sex and drugs and everything. And you see most of them swim to the top and make their way out. But don't forget, there are still a lot of them that sink under the weight of all this shit that they got. They take advantage of their power. They take advantage of their celebrity. They take advantage of their money. And just because you like the character that they play does not mean that they're not a fuck person in real life. That's all I'm saying. I don't put past anything for anybody to do anything. People can sit up here and tell you all day, I'll never do this, I'll never do that. Until you're in a situation and you have to decide between you and somebody else. I'm going to choose me. I'm not about to sit up here and lie to you. In a situation where I got to choose between me and somebody random, I'm going to always choose me. In a situation, and I got to choose between my family and somebody else's family, I'm going to choose somebody else's. And me sitting up there telling y'all that I wouldn't do that is a lie. I don't know what I would do with the amount, the celebrity status and the money that goes along with it. I don't know what I would do. I would hope that I would be able to bear the weight of that, but there's no guarantee. That's my problem. With everybody, perception is everyone's reality. What you perceive is reality is reality. But that doesn't mean that it's real. That just means it's your perception of it. Bill Cosby is out of jail. And whether or not we think he did it is irrelevant. My thing is that I'm never going to say a woman wasn't assaulted because I don't know. And because I know how the public looks at women. When we say something happens to us, what did you do to bring it on? Do you understand that is the first question, even if they don't say it out loud, that is the first question a police officer wants to ask you when you say you've been assaulted or raped? What happened? What were you doing at the time? What difference do it make? What difference does it make? So I'm never going to say that he ain't do nothing because he Richard, because he Bill Cosby, because he is Mr. What's the pudding people? What's the people pudding? What's the name of the pudding? No, it was the name, Jello Pudding Pop. Because he's a Jello Pudding Pop man. Because he was married to Felicia Rashad on TV. I'm never going to say what he couldn't do. That right there, the picture that y'all are looking at is not Bill Cosby. That is Dr. What was his first name? Cliff Huxtable. That is a television program. That is Dr. Cliff Huxtable and his wife. Isn't that Claire? And it ain't Claire. What the hell was her name? What was Felicia Rashad's name on her? I don't know.
Claire Huxtable and Dr.
That was Claire and Cliff. Okay.
Huxtable.
That was Claire and Cliff Huxtable. That is not Bill Cosby. That right there is a television show that lasted, was it 30 minutes? Was it 30 minutes? And when the cameras went off, he was Bill Cosby. That is Bill Cosby, the husband, Bill Cosby, the daddy, Bill Cosby, the actor, Bill Cosby, the teacher, Bill Cosby, the predator. We see the world, y'all. Y'all got to see it for what it is. You can't assume that somebody can be all good things and no bad. Why? Who said it? That being said, not all people that we look at as bad are bad. Case in point with the grandma. She got a 30-year sentence. She got a 30-year sentence that she had served 27 years. They let her out because of COVID. She had battled cancer. She had taken care of her 92-year-old mama. This was in Baltimore, by the way. And they want to put her back in jail for the next 2 years. She won't get out to 2025 because she didn't answer her phone because there was a miscommunication at the halfway house that she was released to. I looked at it while y'all was talking. And when they look at this woman, the thing that they said what caught me is the prosecutor was like, well, she could have been robbing a bank, and that's what we gonna go on. Why? She went in jail for robbing a bank. She got 30 years for trying to sell 1 kilo of cocaine. 1 brick. That's that brick. Them bricks that y'all you see that Tony Montana on Scarface, them bricks, that's a kilo. She got 30 years for 1. Served 23, 22, 20, 24, some of them. She served a lot of them. Is she bad? That's a mama, a grandmother, a daughter, and a felon. Does her being a felon make her a bad person? Come on now. You never know what you'll do until the situation is presented. And maybe the situation will never be presented to you. And you're lucky like that. But until you have been presented with every situation possible, you can't say what you'll never do. Well, yeah, they knew what she had already. What they said was a miscommunication. The halfway house had called her, but she turned her phone off because she was in the class. Now, she thought that she had permission to go to the class because she had been given prior permission twice before to go to the same class. So when she asked whoever she talked to it about it, she thought she had verbal permission to go. And even the guy that was over the halfway house said, had she answered her phone, this probably would have went differently. But I'm like, okay, she didn't answer her phone, cool. Because what they did is when she didn't answer the phone, they then reverted to she was an escapee because she was not released. She was released to a halfway house. So she had to be in the halfway house. So she had escaped for the 4 hours that she was in the class. But again, does felon equal bad? Felon equals jail. Felon equals being convicted of a crime. But does that equal bad? Hello?
It really depends.
How many bad people do you know have never been convicted of a crime? How many people do you know out here right now doing some messed up stuff have never been convicted of a crime?
There's a lot of people did so much
I ain't talking
garbage.
about people you see on TV. I'm talking about people you personally know, family members, friends, stuff you know, people getting over and getting off with, and you know, or you know that your homeboy or your homegirl, just because they don't do it to you, but you see those fucked up stuff they do. How many people who are bad have never been a felon?
Not what I know of.
It's them perceptions. Dr. Huxtable couldn't be a rapist. Grandmama a woman who was put in jail for 1 kilo of cocaine was robbing a bank at 74 years old. 76. Nope, she was 76. My bad. It's blowing me. It's like every day, it's like you add another layer of idiocy onto what you see. Derek Chauvin got 22 and a half years for the televised murder of George Floyd. He was convicted of second-degree murder and other charges. He'll serve all the concurrently. I think you serve them all at the same time. So consecutively means you serve this one and then you serve that one. Televised murder. Was he a bad guy? Yeah. Are people out here right now thinking that he was doing his job and he feared for his life and he shouldn't have been convicted? Yep. Millions of people watch unarmed people of color shot in the back of the head. They were fearing for their life and they still had a job. And now here's the killer. Teenage boy was working on his truck, white boy. Him and his friend was working on his truck. You know, they're young. They're out of school. They're working on the truck. I think it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Police officer stops, sees them and stops I don't know why he stopped. But the boy was working on his transmission. And when he stops the car, it keeps rolling. So he keeps a 5-gallon can of antifreeze in his car to put behind his tire so it doesn't roll when the car is parked. So as he's getting out of the car with the 5-gallon can to put up under his tire, the sheriff, I think it was a sheriff's deputy, gets out of the car and shoots him within, I think they said 13 to 20 seconds. Didn't ask him, didn't scream, stop, halt, freeze, whatever the hell they say. Drop the weapon, get on the ground, put your hands up, none of that.
They don't think.
Is that a bad person? Yep.
Yeah.
Is he a felon? Nope. He's one of the good guys. He's what people call a hero. It's a police officer. Gets up every day, puts his uniform on, goes to work, and puts his life on the line for others. But are they really doing that anymore? Are they really putting their life on the line anymore?
I don't think so.
They shoot first and ask them questions later. They have military style weaponry and gear. Is that a good guy? There's a woman in jail right now. Last week I watched the Lifetime movie. And I stopped watching Lifetime movie. I ain't gonna lie, y'all, because they just got a little too much. It's a little too much life in their time. So it just happened. I don't know what made me watch this. I think baby was doing something. I think she was doing a video and she was doing a video and I just said, let me watch this movie. Watch the whole movie. And it was Lori Vallow, Doomsday Mom. And I watched the whole movie and I just sat there. I was like, for real? She had 2 kids, daughter and a son, divorced one husband, married another husband. Then all of a sudden, I think they were Seventh-day Adventists. There were some non-traditional religion that had a little more doomsday kind of situation going on. But she got to talking to this guy, Daybed or Daybreak or something. Anyway, Daybell, that was his name. And he was the prophet who talked to God. And God would tell him that there are only 140,000 people going into the rapture and that they have to be something. And that God says that that's not your husband. He has been possessed by a demon. I can see the demon. He is a zombie. So she killed that husband. Her brother killed that husband for her. Now he was doing all this to get this woman. And he saw that he could say crazy shit to her and she would be his. So fast forward, her second husband was murdered. Her second husband died because he said he was going to take the kids, and she kept talking that crazy shit. The third husband was murdered by her brother, Daybell. Yep. The third husband was murdered by her brother because I made Leilani watch. Her niece's husband, they tried to murder him. Her brother ended up dying. And then there are the kids, her 17-year-old daughter and her 11, 12-year-old son. So
That's just too much going on.
It wasn't until 3 months. Nobody had seen them kids for 3 months before somebody noticed that had nobody seen them kids for 3 months.
That's
The
crazy.
grandparents on the daddy side had not seen the kids. Daybell told her, because the kids started acting out, because they didn't tell the son, who was autistic, that his father had been killed. So he was acting out because they kept telling the son that his father's on a trip. But his son is like, "Can I see him? I got my iPad. I should be able to see him. I want to see him." So the son started acting out. He told the prophet told the mama that the son was a demon now. He was a zombie. He was infected by a demon. And the daughter was acting out because she was listening. She was old enough to understand and process the dumb shit her mama was saying. And she didn't understand why her mama was saying it. So then he said, when she started acting out, "Lori, I had a vision. I had a dream.
That's why I don't watch this stuff.
And God told me." No. This real. This thing, right?
Oh, this real?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She on trial now. He said, "God told me, and I saw in the vision, I can see what your children really are. They are infected. They're demons now."
Wait a minute. Wait, let me say something.
What you say, like?
Go ahead, Leilani. We couldn't hear you.
I said this is a true story, DC.
Oh, well,
I thought it was a movie.
Me too.
But it was a true story, based on a true story.
See,
Oh,
He said, "I can see the demons in your children. They gotta go." She was straight up just eating. She was drinking the Kool-Aid and eating the cookies. Boy.
mm-mm.
His wife suddenly died because he was married. And she gave up all the money. She wasn't going to work no more. She wasn't paying the bills no more. She wanted to sell the house, but her husband wasn't her ex yet. She wanted to sell the house because she wanted kids. Like, oh, there you go. I did this. And that's cool.
This all like seriously happened like right before Rona started.
Yes.
Like this is new truth.
So she even wanted to get her friend. They don't go to church anymore because organized church is not the real religion. None of them are going to heaven. They're all going to hell or wherever you go. Because there are only 140,000 people on the whole earth. of all time, and is never going to the rapture. And to be one of the 140, you gotta listen to me. You gotta have sex with me. We're the ones who are gonna do. I'm like, what the hell? So they ended up killing her son and her daughter and burying, dismembering them and burying them on the field of some property. The husband was now her husband.
Mm-mm.
So
Darlene say I actually saw it on Dateline.
I saw, yeah, I done seen it like 2 or 3 times, but I watched the movie because I didn't know the logistics. I didn't know the mechanics of crazy. I just saw her regular crazy, somebody who believed it. First of all, the dude didn't believe what he said. Mm-hmm. He was just one of them dudes. He found a game to run and he ran.
Right. Oops, sorry. Leilani said people were like, how the hell they get to Hawaii during Rona?
It was right before Corona. It was 2019. It was right before Corona started. They did all of that, and then, like at the beginning of 2020, that's when it all kind of fell apart. I think the end of 2019, beginning of 2020 is when they all started. They found that they started, because what happened was when the brother killed her second husband.
What state is this in? Hold up, Blackbird said that's exactly why I don't watch the First 48. We have enough First 48 shit going on every day, every city, town, state. I know that's right. She watches.
Right.
If you want to commit a crime, please watch the First 48. Stop your dumb ass up there. This is what you shouldn't do. The first 48 is what you shouldn't do. I was watching the First 48 the other day.
Hold on, wait a minute. Time out. Get back to the other day because I'm trying to where it's going.
Oh, yeah. But so the brother, this is the First 48 thing. That's what I'm talking about. The brother told the police that her husband came at him with a bat and he had to shoot him in the back of the head. Now, I don't know.
How you come in?
Yep. See what you about to say? What you had with the back of the head? I'm
coming with the bat, and you shoot me in the back of the head.
I don't know. Maybe he was doing some kind of ballet move where he swirled around with the bat, But here's one thing. So he just talking to police, just going, we don't have no reason to disbelieve him. You know. Wow. That's awesome. It was another case, the case we was talking about the other night. 7-year-old boy was in jail from the time he was 12 to the time he was 18. He was convicted of killing his stepmother, pregnant stepmother. No evidence, nothing tied into the case, no witnesses, nothing. People said he did it.
I saw that one. Yes, I did.
And he had a bench trial, not a jury trial. The judge said he was a menace and convicted him of a crime and gave him as much time as he could possibly give him. He did. Now, I'm listening to the police at this time. This is what I'm talking about. Somebody a felon, does that make him a bad person? Just doing your job make you a good person. So this is police that are talking. These are the actual police that investigated the crime. Number one, they said it's the first crime of that type they've ever investigated. That's the first time they should have went, what? Second thing, now, they're running the assumption that the little boy got up, killed his stepmama, ate breakfast, got on the bus with his sister, and went to school. Okay? So he went to school. His other little sister, who was at home with her mama, heard a boom after the kids had went to school and went to get her mama because her mama wouldn't answer the telephone. And that's when the younger sister found her, the 4-year-old found her mother dead or found her mother body. The police said, now this was what the funny part was the report. The reporter was like, you didn't take any fingerprints? Well, we had to let the first responders in to give life-saving measures to the body. Well, if she dead, you don't need life-saving measures. So you did secure the scene, and the police were like, "Oh, no evidence, no gunpowder residue. They was in the country. Everybody shoot the country. Hell, you could have back in the day, you could have went and found all kind of bullet cases in my backyard."
I believe that little boy didn't. I mean, I believe that young man did not shoot his stepmother. I don't. I believe he did not.
No, even let's just say for the sake of argument, he did. There was no evidence that he did. It was
Mm-hmm.
there was no evidence, nothing. You know what? The lawyer said something that was funny. The lawyer said a 11-year-old can't make a peanut butter jelly sandwich and get a glass of juice without leaving evidence. So you telling me that he got you, ate his cereal, got on the bus with his sister, went to school, and was chilling in school till the police came and got him? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You have no evidence. You collected no fingerprints. You collected no samples. You didn't see if it was somebody else's fingerprints. You didn't see if it was somebody else's blood, somebody else's DNA. Yes, his DNA is going to be in the house because that's the house he lived in. Yes, his fingerprints are going to be there because that's the house he lived in. But since you didn't get any other fingerprints, you don't know if there was anybody else's fingerprints there. You listened to one sister, but not the other. They listened to the other sister when she said she heard a boom before she got up, even though she recanted later. But they said that the other little girl, who was 4 years old at the time when she told everybody the story, she told the story, she tell it the same way ever since. She said, I heard a noise. I didn't know quite what it was. It was different than I ever heard. It sounded like somebody dropped something heavy. It was a big boom. She said, and then I waited for a little while. I got up, I heard my mom's phone ringing. She wouldn't answer it. I went in the room and found my mom. The baby was already in school by then. 9 o'clock. He's already gone. But you won't listen to the other little girl. And she said that she heard something while they were still in the house. Now, she never said she saw her brother do it. She said she heard a boom. They ate breakfast and went to school. Now, and you could tell by the way the police officers were talking, by the way they were stuttering, and by the way they were contradicting themselves on top of each other, that it was like, I couldn't understand what they had out for this little boy. He was 11. Couldn't understand. And the whole county was just on that 11-year-old killing people bandwagon. And now here's the thing. I do not say that an 11-year-old cannot be evil or bad. I do believe there's some people that they're going to be a serial killer. I don't give a shit what you do to them. That is few and far between. What did you have so bad on this little 11-year-old boy that you just ran and put him in jail? And he was in jail from the time he was 11 to the time he turned 18. He aged out of the system. They couldn't charge him with anything else. But he wanted to clear his name. His daddy had almost everything taken care of his baby. And they eventually got his conviction overturned because there was absolutely, positively no evidence. None. There would have been more evidence against me than it was that little boy.
The person who probably did it just walking around, right?
That's how I'm saying. That's what I'm saying about the perception. You want everybody in the town was what a good job the police did. How quickly they solved the first murder. You so worried about solving a crime. I need you to be worried about convicting the real person that did. This all goes back to everything. If you did, I think I would not be the judge for my judge. It is time. You gotta pay reparations to people. And he's going to go, even though his case will overturn, people are always going to think some kind of way about Bill Cosby. the labels that you put on people. You need to know what you're doing before you say stuff. Then it don't mean bad. Police officer don't always mean wrong. Pastor, preacher, priest don't always mean good. Mama don't always mean unconditional love. Just because you something don't mean you are what it is. Just because you ain't caught. And just because you ain't got caught don't mean you ain't good.
I ain't do it.
Don't look at me.
Rico did it.
I'm always guilty, huh?
Rico always guilty.
Should I mean
What can I say?
Who?
There's some shit I did. I got caught. I mean, come on now.
I'm trying to think.
I don't live. We didn't grow up in the era of our 20s. Not inundated with cell phones and cameras on it. So all the shit that I got away with,
Rico, what you do?
Stole my mama's ice cream.
What?
Stole his mother ice cream.
You sit there trying to go, what the hell did
he stole his mama ice cream. Now he got to do time.
How you steal my ice cream?
He got to do the time. He can't tell.
How you steal my ice cream?
He gonna give up the evidence.
I didn't steal my mama's ice cream.
Now, if you ate all of it, that ain't stealing. That's about to get your ass if you ate all her ice cream. You ate all her butter pecan. All her black walnut, all her French vanilla with the flax in it. You want your ass with they stealing.
Well, I tell you one thing I did. I did cook up some walleye. I didn't know it was hers. I ate that fish up and didn't think nothing of it.
See, that's an asshole. That's a butt whooping.
I don't get butt whoopings.
Maybe you don't now. Probably should have when you was young.
That's the problem. That's the problem. He ain't get no butt whipping growing up. There you go. I wish I could have been like you growing up.
I was a good kid.
No, that's why Rico mad now.
He making it up for it now. That's what it is. Now we know. We understand. Now we know. Now we get it. We wasn't getting it before.
That hurt to tell you.
Look, he ain't got nothing to say, Leilani. He done got stuck. He got stuck. He don't know.
No, he was bad. He done told his story.
He was bad. Oh yeah, I gotta go back and look at your archives.
That's not bad. That's just I'm a guy. We just do crazy things.
That's another thing.
It's not bad.
I hate that. Boys will be boys.
But girls gonna be girls.
You don't do crazy things. You do what you can get away with. You do bad shit that you can get away with. Just say it, but say what it is. I hate when people
No,
it was to be boys. That's just what they do.
we just do crazy things.
Like what?
I'm not thinking.
Like what?
You know,
Acting like
guys,
this.
my man, we never think about it, but it was just crazy. It was not like that. It was bad because it wasn't. We just did crazy things.
So what's the
You ain't said nothing right.
what's a crazy thing that you really done? What's a crazy thing?
Wait a minute. Isn't this about Bill Cosby thing
Yeah.
No,
in life?
say
We trying to understand.
Boys, you do
See,
know
I-
that the society equates what boys do
see,
to girls.
I'm
as
stuck up
boys
on this
Since
thing
we talking about
with
Bill Cosby.
3 women.
Since we talking about
I'm
Bill.
the only guy up on here. I need help.
Hold on, wait a minute. Let me go there. So since we talking about boys, right? Growing up as a young, not now, but when you were young, you ain't never want to walk past and touch a girl butt and do something crazy.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what we call crazy. It's just crazy.
He did
It's
it.
just having fun.
It's not want to. He did that.
That's what I'm saying.
But you did it.
Yeah.
Boys being boys, that's what you giving boys the permission to do shit they shouldn't do. If you want to touch a girl, make sure the girl wants to be touched. There's a lot of girls that wanted to be touched. You can't just be touching people because people say, oh, that's just what boys do. Boys just pop bra straps. Boys just look under skirts. Boys just look down shirts. That's the culture. That's why right now in
If
America.
girl don't want to be touched, it's because they don't want to be touched. We didn't touch them.
No, what I'm saying is this, Rico. Right now.
Uh-oh,
If you had
done
children
something.
in school right now, a little girl and a little boy in school, right now they're regulating what your daughter wears before they regulate this young man putting his hands on somebody.
So let me ask you this: you
They'll
touch
tell your daughter that her pants are too tight, her shirt is too tight, her spaghetti strap show too much, she's showing off her shoulder, she's showing her knee. Before they tell your son to keep his motherfucking hands to himself, they will send your daughter home. Instead of her regulating that it is not normal for you to just grab a titty and grab an ass, and then just because you're a boy.
Well, I ain't never grabbed the titty and nothing. Smacked the ass, and that's about it.
so let me ask you touched a girl butt without her permission. I'll wait.
Females just back and forth. We knew the ones who like to be touched.
Raylo,
We never really mess with ones who don't want to be touched. They were just flirting. We were flirting too.
Raylo, get on the panel, Raylo.
Think about what you said. You just said we knew the ones who wanted to be touched. Now I'm gonna ask you a question. I want you to tell me the truth.
And the ones who did not want to be touched, they were just uptight.
Was that the girl? Hold on. I'm asking you a question. The girl that you knew that wanted to be touched, was that the same girl y'all used to call a hoe?
No. I mean, it was just fun. It was just fun. That's all. Fun.
You might not have got the person might not have had any problem with it, but the reality is that the fact that
okay, but I do understand what you're saying though. But I'm just saying, as a man, I mean, we did that and we never looked back at it like
you tell your
was
son,
that offended.
Did you tell
Say that again?
She said, did you tell your son?
Don't do that. Don't put your hands on
Oh no, yes. I told him don't do stuff, something I had did as a young man or just a kid growing up. But I did explain to him.
But you may not be a bad dude in that way, but you do understand that by normalizing it, by saying boys will be boys, there are people that take advantage of that situation. And there are girls who you don't know 100, you're not 100% certain that the girl you touched wanted you to touch her. You just said we knew the girl to touch because they didn't say anything to you, right?
No.
Okay,
the girls who want to be touched, we knew. The ones who don't, hold up. I respect that. I'm not gonna just end up and just be touching on a chick, and I know for a fact she don't like it. But you got ones who like it, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, okay, maybe now, but it's now. No, it's still like that.
Well, what I'm asking you is this: you are the wrong man, true that, and I'm just getting what you're saying. You said you knew. That's cool. What I'm asking is, did you know because of what you heard or because of what she said? That's what I'm asking.
No, it's what she say.
Okay, well that's different. I'm not talking about two consistent children rubbing on each other's ass. That ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your homeboy that didn't ask this girl and he patted her ass when he walked by. I'm talking about the dudes you hung with that used to pop bra straps and look down girls' shirts without asking. What I'm saying is that while you may have been cool with the girl you was touching on, there's a whole generation of people out there that think it's cool. And then they don't say, and it's not just the kids, it's the adults that don't say anything. They'll say something to your daughter before they'll say something to your son, even though your son is the one that did. They'll say this. They said this out loud. The way that your daughter is dressing is distracting to my son. Because it's hot and the little girl got on a sundress.
I heard that.
So
instead of regulating your son and telling your son to just be a good dude, you tell a girl that she's distracting him. That because just by inherently who and what she is a distraction to him so much that she has to go put on a long sleeve shirt, a big pair of pants to cover up all her body so that he won't be distracted, so that he can do his math homework.
So that could have happened to Bill Cosby.
Man, that's different time. I'm talking about now.
They was distracting him back then.
I'm gonna go now. I am done with this panel.
I knew she was gonna get me.
I knew she was gonna get me. Y'all can finish this.
You want to cook some spaghetti?
I have a son, and I don't want, and I know what it's like for your child to be accused of something he didn't do. I know what it's like. I've been a girl, and I've had people because I got these titties and this ass in the 7th grade. And because I look like I look, it was all just touching. Regardless of whether or not I wanted you to put your hands on it. And it wasn't anything like that, but it got to be sometimes too much. I hated the attention. I already looked different than everybody in my class, and now I got these big ass titties and this big ass. In the 7th grade, I look like I'm a senior high school. And dudes, I guess they thought it was, ooh, hey. So what I'm saying is, yes, sometimes it's okay. Play with your friends like that. But if you don't regulate your friends, not all your friends got good intentions, Rico. Not just Rico, you just have me who I'm talking to right now. But anybody, not all your friends got good intentions.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a grown man now. So I mean, that was back in the day. When you were learning your sexuality. And you were learning what you liked and what you didn't like. That's how you learn, you experiment, you learn things. But because nobody checked the men like they checked us, that's why you got a whole era of people thinking that's cool. Mm-hmm. She'll be all right. She know I didn't mean nothing by it. You know how many dicks been white across my ass at a club just because she don't mean nothing. They decided I'm out of the club. I had to stop one dude. I turned around. I asked him what his last name. He said, why? I said, because you keep rubbing on my ass, I'm going to be knocked up. I'm going to need to know who to put on the birth certificate. He just busted out laughing and turned around. That's because when I got older, I said what the fuck I wanted to say. But when you're a younger person, or you ain't me, or you ain't you ain't got enough backbone to say what the fuck you want to say, you will allow stuff. When you're a girl, especially when you're a girl coming of a certain age and you get any attention from guys. Mm-hmm. Girls are the same as y'all. We the same as y'all. We get them hormones kick in and we want to touch and kiss and hug and rub. But because we're taught to not be the first person to say something, they teach us to, it's not ladylike. Don't do that. Can't do that. Don't do that. But if a guy that we like shows us attention, we don't know we should tell him the same thing our parents are telling us. Don't do that right now. We ain't on that level yet. I think, like I said, I think they was throwing pussy at Bill Cosby like he was playing in the last game of the goddamn World Series.
Mm-hmm.
And I think women thought they could go only so far. And when he wanted to go the rest of the way, all of a sudden they wanted to go, oh no. But I also think it's because we don't as a whole, not individually. We teach our little girls to don't wear a short dress. Don't do this. Women are afraid right now in 2021 to walk outside at night, walk through the park alone. And that ain't how it should be. Right now, right before schools got closed down, there was story after story after story of somebody having to come pick their little girl up from school because one little girl had a pair of jeans on that had a, you remember how they were wearing the jeans that just had this cut in the knee?
Oh yeah.
Remember just a little slice on the knee, and you really couldn't see it when they were standing up. Only when they sat down, you saw a little gap in the knee.
Yeah.
She got sent home because her knees were distracted. One little girl got sent home because she had on a little thin strap tank top in school in the middle of the summer in Texas with the air conditioner broke. They made her change her clothes. She said she was hot and I'm not going to change my clothes. She had to go home. There was a teacher who said, you can't have what you have on because it's distracting me. That's my thing. We gotta teach we gotta teach our sons and our young men. It ain't cool, baby. It's not, trust me, it's gonna be a lot of girls and a lot of times out there that want you to do all the stuff you want to do. Find them. But you gotta be able, do you know that this year this guy tried to shoot his shot at this little girl sitting outside at a restaurant? She politely said, no, thank you. He went to his car and started shooting at her.
Wow.
Because she said, no, I'm out with my girls and I have a boyfriend, but I'm out with my girls tonight. No, thank you. They recorded it. And he walks away after he called all kind of bitches and hoes, goes to his car and come back shooting at her. Last year, the little girl told the dude no, and he went to her house and killed her. He followed her to her house and shot her in front of her. That's the only reason I was saying what I was saying, Rico. Not because you a bad dude, not because anything you did was wrong, but because across the board, you're one person. You are one particular instance. But across the board, that boys will be boys thing, you know how many predators have just rolled in that way? There are so many more good dudes out there than bad dudes.
Well, I believe that, I mean.
But that way, that it being normal to say boys will be boys, there is no statement like that for women. There is no statement at all like that for young women, for little girls.
I thought that go both ways.
But it doesn't work both ways.
Boys gonna be boys, girls gonna be girls.
But it doesn't work. There is no statement. That statement doesn't even sound right. It doesn't even sound right. There's no statement like that for women. Oh, he just and even they'll go so far and say, oh, he just being a boy. They don't say that with little girls. Because little girls and women are supposed to act a certain way. They can't do anything. They can't be this. They can't have bravado and speak their mind. They have to be this. They have to be.
I understand my sister couldn't do so much. She used to hate it.
You could stay out all night on prom night. The equivalent to you would have to be in by 12, whatever the curfew was. Boys can stay out all night. Girls gotta have a curfew. Boys can go hang out with their homeboys at the hotel party. Girls gotta be home. Where you at? But it shouldn't be that way. They should be able, girls and boys should be able to hang out and party all night long without having to worry about anything.
I agree.
But that's just not how it is. And it makes a culture to where the bad dudes hide within the good dudes. The bad dudes use the boys will be boys sentiment. The teacher who told the student and the parent that this child was distracting him with what she had on should have been terminated immediately. The little boy who said he couldn't do his school work because the girl sitting in front of him had on a tank top should have been suspended immediately. Because you didn't see a person. You saw a sexual object. And you don't need to be with people until you can see people. I have issue with that. I have issue with this. With the flip side, I have issue with people demonizing men because they can. I think if a little girl, I grew up in a time where men should never hit a woman for any reason. You should never put your hand on a woman.
I agree.
That's a lie. That's a motherfucking lie. Bitch, come at you like a dude. If I come at you like a dude, I'm not gonna swing on you like I'm no girl. I'm not gonna come at you. If I'm trying to kill you or whoop your ass, I'm coming to kill you or whoop your ass. Don't sit up there.
That right there, that one right there, I will never ever put my hands on no woman. I won't care what goes on. That's just me being honest.
I appreciate that and all. And I'm not talking about you abusing
your
wife.
I'm coming to beat your ass.
I'm not talking about you abusing your wife. I'm not talking about any of that. What I'm talking about is women do that as well. I know I can hit it. I know I can do all this messed up stuff to him because he ain't gonna put his hands on me, and if he do, the police gonna believe me. I know I can call the police and say he touched me, he raped me, and did this and the third because I'm mad with him. I hate that we use female fragility the same way I hate when men use the boys will be boys shit. I told Nick, and I tell everybody, I told him from the beginning, not start a fight with anybody, ever. Never start a fight. Because ain't shit that serious. Not in school. Not before you get grown. Ain't shit that serious. Ain't no words nobody can say to you that serious. Ain't no mama jokes. Ain't no calling you bitches and fags and sissies. Ain't nothing that serious for you to start a fight over no words. Because number one, you the one gonna be in trouble. Who started it? You did, or you the one about to go.
True.
I also told him, I said, but if somebody start with you and put their hands on you, make sure they don't never put their hands on you no more. Make sure you show them why they should have just stuck to words. And I told him this as well. I said, let me tell you something. You're inherently stronger than a female of the same size as you. It's just biology. It has nothing to do with the gender. It's just biology. You just are more muscly than she is. You got more strength than she do. That being said, don't let no girl just keep punching you and put her hands on you.
Meaning with me, I would never put hit her or nothing like that. But defend yourself, yeah, you got to stop her.
What you do? You grab her and shake the shit out of her.
Shit out of her.
Body slam her if you have to.
Goddamn shoulders, bitch.
And if you can lift her ass off the ground,
I'm gonna call the police. Just hold on. If you keep on hitting me, I'm gonna give your ass shaking baby syndrome before they get here. Okay?
did you say shaking baby?
I will give you whole whip.
Yeah, did say that.
Baby. Thanks. Leave that alone.
Lordy. I thought I was a hot mess.
I give them whole whiplash for the police to get them. Call the police. She was hitting on me. I had to get off me.
Sugar.
911. But no, all jokes aside. All jokes aside. That's all I was saying, Rico. I was not bashing you.
Oh no, it's okay.
And I grew up with all my friends that are on my Facebook now. I grew up, and that's how they thought. Because that's how they was taught, and I was taught the way I was taught. And it was what it was.
That's why they always say guys are very hard-headed and the women's hat are wise, but I don't know where they get that idea from. But anyway, whatever.
I mean, everybody can be hard-headed. Everybody can be wise. It just depends on being wise. It's not about knowing everything. It's about your ability to learn what you don't know. Wisdom is not just that you know things. It's about your eagerness to learn more.
True.
It's about your ability to change your position. If you know something, but then you see things to the contrary, wisdom is also about changing your position. Saying the ability to say I was wrong. The ability to say, I see what you're saying. Wisdom is about, I think at the end of the day, wisdom is about knowledge and change. It's being able to take the knowledge you have and being able to adapt as situations change. Because nothing stays the same. We could keep our doors open. We could walk everywhere. We'd be walking in the middle of the road at 3 o'clock in the morning, wasn't scared of nobody to touch us. Except maybe what stray ass dog got on somebody's door. That's just not how it is now. People put their whole life online, their address, their phone number. People think they know people because they see them on YouTube and TikTok. Rico, do you have to be?
No, I'm sitting in a hard chair and it's hurting my bum. My butt is asleep. So.
You look like you was doing a pee-pee dance.
Pee-pee dance.
Well, I better stop doing that then.
Times change. I know that. So we have got to start making it so that the little girl got to change her clothes. Or a woman has to cover her drinking food. Or you have to buy pretty little weapons to put on your keychain because you're scared to walk to your car at night. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It is 8:33, and I think, oh no, I can't see over
2 hours, 15 minutes.
So I'm gonna end this live. I really appreciate everybody coming on this live. I appreciate you taking a little bit of heat.
That's what's wrong with you. A little 5 for the day. But I appreciate you taking that with grace and pee-pee dance. Thank you so much. I want to thank you of you for your opinion and your coloring. It's beautiful. Thank you so much. Leilani, my sister from another mister, my co-hostess with the mostest. My
Thank you, baby. I
adorable,
appreciate it.
cute as hell, handsome husband over there.
Wait a minute. What's her name saying something?
Who did? Oh, she said she appreciates it.
Girl, oh my Lord. Ooh. When am I gonna see
ABC.
y'all again? Huh?
I don't know. We got to figure out something.
Yeah.
We got to figure out something.
Y'all, DC, Kool-Aid, and Lisa, they the precious little couple. They funny as hell.
I know. That's why I'm always over here because they crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell nobody.
I ain't gonna tell nobody.
Keep it to ourselves. Shh. Oh, oh, oh. Mm.
Oh Lord.
Oh man, I hate this chair.
Now, what kind of chair do you have that you hate? Because I hate this one.
Well, this just let me see. This goes to like uh kitchen table.
Mm-hmm.
One of the more hard chairs where you got to go to the store and sit in them so you'll know which one you'll like.
Yeah.
This one here was a mistake.
This chair makes so much damn noise. It keeps squeaking and cracking and everything, but it's so freaking comfortable. And I have fallen asleep in this chair so many times. But I need a new. I bought 2 new leather chairs, but they're white, and I don't like those either. I need to get a real nice chair.
Yeah, me too.
Huh?
Just gotta go sit in some chairs and see what you like.
Yeah, my
Well,
ass in a bunch of chairs.
yeah, what you gonna have to do. And,
Mm.
but let me tell you, some of the gaming chairs, they not always comfortable. Oh
I
my gosh.
heard that.
I kept
Yeah.
sitting there, I'm like, I kept telling the floor guy, I said, I don't like this chair. Y'all ought to throw this away. I kept sitting in all of them.
I see some people with them gaming chairs. I thought they was wheelchairs. I was like, oh, I didn't know they were handicapped. And they was like, girl, that's a gaming chair. I was like, what? Oh, okay. My bad.
That's a good one. I ain't saying
My
that.
bad. For the longest time, I thought Miss what's the lady name? Boss lady. I thought she was wheelchair bound. Then she got up one day and started dancing and shit. I said, girl. She started throwing down, shaking her ass because she was sick of people talking about she couldn't do whatever. I didn't know. She got up and shook her ass. I said, girl, you do your thing, baby. That was a gaming chair. I thought it was an electric wheelchair. I said, Lord, bless her little heart. Child, I fell asleep. I'm sorry, y'all. I just woke up. Y'all, I'm sitting in the chair, coloring, falling asleep, listening to. I can listen to Miss Lisa all day. Miss Lisa has a very calming voice.
She said, "Thank you."
Lordy. Let me take my ass out of here. I'm gonna talk to y'all later.
All right, you have a
Bye,
good
baby.
one.
I love all of y'all.
We love you.
Much love to you.
Don't believe what anybody said. Hey, Miss Lilani, baby, where you come up in here? What the fuck? Where Lilani came from? Damn, I must have really went to sleep. Okay. Oh, he done found the thing he's fighting with again. Oh Lord. All right, bye y'all. All right, bye.
All right.
All right, guys. I want to thank you guys so much. I really appreciate the Bomb Squad. I appreciate Leilani and Rico for getting on this channel. Getting on the channel with me. I love you, baby.
Love you too.
Thank you, Bomb Squad. I love you guys. I love y'all support. I love y'all hanging out with us. I love y'all hanging in there. Listen make sure if you haven't already liked this video, to go ahead and like this video for your comment down below. I think I'll whatever you want. Give me in the comments. Make sure you share this video if you haven't already shared this video, because other people can hear what I got to say. And you just have to scroll past this video, learn what I say, if you like what I say, come on here and subscribe. And hit that notification bell so that every time I drop a video, or we go live, y'all can join us. Girl, thank you so much.
She said she out. Where you going?
Stop it. Just cut it off.
Yeah. Coming in, yeah. Flex, I just wanna win, yeah. LA BB who run away, yeah.
I'm losing my butt now.
Yeah, state your name. Big double flame. I just switched the lanes. Damn, he did it again. I just flipped the pain. Stripping it different base. Slab on everything. Shooting taking away. Cause I got big racks coming. I put my low racks on it. I ain't skip past losses. I had to get back off it. See the fit lab on it until they whip my coffin. Money clip I toss that I heard is big bags on big bags on big bags coming. Coming in. Yeah. Flex. I just wanna win. Yeah. LA BB who run away. Yeah. 2, 2, 3, 3, I'm on 10 again. Pump up the action. Bitch, I'm active. If he never heard of Ben Dope, he just napping. Jackson's off the rapping. Keep it on my body, bitch. I'm broke if you ask it. Don't gotta sell it, most of y'all is flawless. Broken whistles longer than it's foreign. Heard you want it cause the yam's enormous. What's an ass? She is a gorgeous. Live my life last name. I'm Morgan Freeman. Trying to touch a forest. Do not know we're knocking on the door. This came in. Did it like the Porsches coming in. Yeah, flex. I just wanna win. Yeah, LA BB who run away. Yeah, 2, 2, 3, 3. I'm on 10 again. Okay, alright. Coming in, yeah, flex. I just wanna win, yeah. LA BB who run away, yeah. 2, 2, 3, 3. I'm on 10, yeah.